saw this big stage and there was a DJ. There was a female DJ. She was learning DJing, and I just saw her there. Like, also, are you saying a girl can also
do that?
up high and control people down? And it felt godlike, and that was where the journey started.
Playing in a party, and I noticed people are getting tired of a particular genre. The minute I introduce Afrobeat, the audience changes. You just recognize it's Africa, and you just translate to it. The edge Afrobeat has is tomorrow or next year, if another kind of song comes out of the world in the Europe, Afrobeat will match something better.
The world is actually listening to Afro music, right. Afrobeat is a kind of music that passes message. The voicing, the instrument, the guitars, the drums, and all that. Afrobeat, has taken over.
Afrobeats lives here with DJ Who Be Dat.
Still be on the beat.
Easy. Who there, so? I Jimmy Chat. And who? Me flavor. And let the music play on. Ayaga, ya brother, no be fight. Mr. Flavor, ya na Jimmy Chat. Even a little kobu anano. Ane kwane cheki no wa wofumbia o. Tono one.
Chatting about Afrobeats.
Oh,
and
definitely.
how we came here, but you being a hip hop driven DJ, you started rapping before you started to DJ.
Yeah.
How do you feel that has transitioned into what it is today?
I'd say it's just a accumulation of influences from way back,
Yeah.
We pretty much all grew up on hip hop, no doubt. I mean, hip hop, R&B, Western music, But, in trying to do music, we also wanted to do music. In wanting to do music, you're heavily influenced by what you've been listening to. And what you've been listening to is mostly Western, And then when you try to do music, you're doing the music in such a way that it sounds so Western. And your people wouldn't accept that because you're then a clone copy of the original. So next thing you do is try to find a way to infuse all your influences.
Right.
And the influences are, the Niger music, the African sound that you also have growing up into all those hip hop and R&B and everything that also influenced you as a young person. So most of the experiment at that time, me being a rapper, and I say I was part of the initial process of coming up with this sound. You understand what I'm saying? And knowing that, man, your rap, if it doesn't sound different from where rap is actually coming from,
Right.
people were not going to, embrace it. So you started, looking for ways to make your rap very, very environmental friendly. You understand? So first thing you do is the language has to be us, So first of all, you look and say, man, how do I deliver in Pidgin English? And of course, being a Lagos guy, you tend to speak more Pidgin and Yoruba.
Right.
So there were a lot of Yoruba and Pidgin rap at that beginning,
Okay.
And I think that led to where we are right now. So if you go back as far back as maybe the early 90s and say there are songs like Junior and Pretty, Monica, I don't know if you ever know those songs.
Monica don't kill me. Monica don't kill me.
Those were like the initial process. And then you had people like that, Shoki, trying to do dancehall, but they were doing their dancehall with the Pidgin.
Jimmy Jack, Fela Kuti, Manifest, Navio, cause we got more nine on this one.
Been pulling strings like a puppet master. They told me slow down, I said nah, I'm going faster. I want to be the greatest, I want to be the greatest. Charlie in the whole wide world. Nothing fit to shake us, we gon' be the greatest. Charlie in the whole wide world. Charlie in the whole wide world. Charlie in the whole wide world.
Cool DJ Jimmy Jack. I'm black, I'm beautiful, and you're welcome to the new world. It's Africa.
Afrobeat, simply put, is a fusion of hip-hop and African sound. At the initial stage, it was mostly hip-hop, but right now, Afrobeat is a little bit of everything plus the African sound,
Yes.
but mostly influenced by hip-hop.
Yeah.
When we were trying to make all this experiment, I was in Nigeria. Never went to Ghana. I mean, as at that time.
Right.
So I wouldn't know what was going on in Ghana. And I think really, if we want to search and you say what were the early Afrobeat songs, the biggest Afrobeat songs, there were a few Ghanaian songs, no doubt, but there were a lot more Nigerian songs.
Yeah.
So I'll probably say, I mean, without being biased, and I say it's Nigerian.
Okay.
You know, yeah. But with a lot of, I mean, because the Afrobeat itself is not limited to anything. It's a little bit of every, too many. It's a foundation, I mean, made with a lot of ingredients. So you find dancehall, you find R&B, you find hip hop, you will find Ghanaian African sound, you will find Afrobeats in terms of Nigerian Afrobeat. You would find Juju, you listen to Nice and all of them. Those are Fuji artists, but in a modern, you know, a modernized way. You understand what I'm saying? So if you listen to Bonner deeply, for instance, that's an Akpala type delivery.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? You know, so if you listen to Flavor, which is also Afrobeat, that's an highlife song.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So everybody spoke from somewhere, and the whole lot. I mean, I think the biggest influence on Afrobeat this day and now is Fela Kuti.
Thank you for
Fela
saying
Kuti
that.
is
Yeah,
Nigerian.
absolutely.
You know, so if you find an Afrobeat artist, if it's not sounding like his stage mannerism or body language, is completely Fela. If you look at the band, that's the modern day Fela. If you look at Whiskey, that's Fela of today. You understand what I'm saying? So everybody's, you know, it's a bite of everything, you know, but it's now originally ours, if you know what I mean. I feel like sometimes you can let the body of work speak.
Right.
And how somebody influenced a generation.
Right.
It's not just the music. Fela is the biggest influence on young people. Long after he's gone. And I'm talking 20.
Yeah, 20-some years.
No, I'm not talking about his death. I'm talking about an average kid of maybe 20-year-old. Fela is very influential on his life. And Fela was gone long before he was born. You understand what I'm saying? That you can't explain. Do you understand what everybody says? Baba, Eleni, or, you know, some people were not in the world when he left. It's like Bob Marley. You don't put such people in a voting category. You just honor them because they deserve it. I think the world just became too speedy. Yeah. People are just in a rush. So even the songs now that are about 3 minutes on the average, between me and you as DJs, do we even play beyond a minute of them? You know, so and I will tell you some artists that the whole album, I'm buying some album on iTunes, and I realized that the total length of the album, and there are about maybe 10 tracks on this album, and the total length of the album is 22 minutes. That's to tell you the average length of a song is about 2.5 minutes. You understand what I'm saying? You know, so, you know, I think the world has just become more rapid. People are, you know, want to move on to the next thing. We're quick now, you know, like, man, guy, I beg. We don't have time for, don't make it too long, no long thing.
No long thing.
My own early records were somewhere as long as 5 minutes.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying? And before then, songs were at least maybe 7 minutes, 8 minutes. And, you know, then the Juju records, obviously, those were like 20, 25 minutes, for instance, you know. I wouldn't say straight. I still think it's all, I mean, credit to Fela. There were always those three ladies, you know.
Yes.
There were all those three ladies.
Yes,
and because Fela's music, for a good amount of time, is instrumentation.
Yes.
Well-arranged instrumentation.
Yes.
That's an instrumental. That's a musician.
Yeah.
You understand? They just play, and you don't get tired of that instrumentation.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? But just to keep it going like that, and it's not monotonous and it's not boring.
Right.
The ladies are, you know, wiggling and twerking to it, and that brings you back to twerking. So twerking is also our own thing. You know, we just did not buy into it when it was purely ours, because then people used to call exactly people used to refer to girls twerking around here back in the day as local girls.
Yes. Yeah.
But then when the Western world embraced twerking, it became it.
It became a thing.
Well, we've always, I mean, as far back as Kula Lobito had female twerkers.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? You know, so I feel like, you know, a lot of, like, it goes back to what we're talking about Fela. So it's a lot more than what did he make. How many records did Fela make made in his lifetime? Loads of them. A lot of them, you know, and some of them still sound like still they're still as fresh. Yes, you know, and it was serious activism on those music.
Correct.
You know, we're addressing issues. You know, it's life changing. It's not just music for the sake of music.
Mastercraft, Fino, Cool DJ Jimmy Jack, Mr. Bank and W. Let's go. Rah. Smell like $1 million, that's my creed. Made me run for office cause my people need more. Singer slash rapper slash exec, I'm all of the above. Couldn't last a mile wearing my shoes. No, your feet ain't big enough, you ain't paid your dues. This is not a bluff, you are not that dude. Quartz and Ross don't make you a boss, trust me. And talk is cheap, but baby, have no fear. Cause my money long like Jimmy Jack's career. You know we running the game, but we don't play fairs. Mastercraft, Mr. W, and the man of the year. Cool DJ Jimmy Jack.
I always tell people, I mean, you want to do what you want to do, but you still have to be about the people most of the time, you know, because you're there as a DJ to please the people. Correct. So you're a crowd pleaser, and the more you can please the crowd, the more gigs you get. You know, so for me, I've gone from, oh, this is what I like, or this is what music should be, to this is what the people want. Okay. You know, and what the people want, I think, is a bit ahead of every other thing. You know? So, and these days, you know, music gets to people through all this, digitally. Yeah. So people know what they want. You know, so you can't impose your own music ideas on them. To be honest with you, I think we're in a good space now. Okay. We're in a good space because I think everything that came before Afrobeat has been fully exhausted. You know, people have gotten enough of them, and people wanted something fresh, and you know, and that has that energy, and that's what Afrobeat brings. You know, so it's just beginning to, it's on a very high level now, but it's still not on the highest level. We've been here. We've gotten it this far before the Grammy. Right. Do you understand? So we're not going to, you know, I'm not one of those people that are going to let some other factor take the credit for the hard work of a lot of people. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? You know, so it's a good thing, and I think more of that will come, no doubt. And it's a good thing, no doubt. You know? I'll probably say, you know, first of all, you need to search yourself. Is it something you really want to do, or is it something you just want to do because you feel it's cool and fly? Right. You understand what I'm saying? If you don't really have it in you, DJing is more passion driven. Yes. Aside the money, you know, the money will come, but the passion has to drive you. The urge to, you know, move people. Right. It's a lot. It's deeper than just being behind the deck. You know? So you need to find out if you have that, and if you don't even have that, you can develop that. You know, but you have to work hard at it. You know, and then you can take yourself to, you know, you can take yourself to the higher side. I'm just one that takes it one day at a time. Okay. You know, I mean, I didn't see myself. You know, I didn't see DJing on this level when I started. You know, so I mean, so we make the best of the opportunities. I mean, the internet comes. You know, you make the best of it. Now you can be a DJ in Lagos, Nigeria, and they know about you in Asia, or in Australia, and everywhere. You know, you can get a gig from any part of the world. You know, so those are things that we never thought. I mean, carrying crates from one place to the other, you wouldn't think you would go that far. You know, so. I feel like, you know, the world will always evolve. There will always be new challenges, and you have to make the best of those challenges and, you know, utilize them to the best of your abilities. Appreciate you, man.
It was good meeting you.
Pleasure,
mentor,
man. Yeah.
And, you know, I hope, you know, wish you all the best.
Amapiano has been there for a very long time. Yes, I will also say Amapiano came out from Kwaito music too, but they've been doing it big in South Africa since 2004. It's now that we're going crazy about Amapiano music. Yes, we have the Kwaito music from South Africa. We have other genre of music from different parts of South Africa, but we all know that Afrobeat is the king.